Hocking Hills is full of beautiful forests, gorges, waterfalls, caves, tunnels, and more. But the only way to see all Hocking Hills has to offer is to hike it, and you should be hiking Hocking Hills like this. We have the best 6 trails in Hocking Hills to talk about, but first, most people visiting Hocking Hills have the following questions. Does Hocking Hills have a waterfall? Does Hocking Hills have caves? How hard is it to hike Hocking Hills? What is the most popular cave in Hocking Hills? What is the easiest hike in Hocking Hills? Where can I see the most beautiful trail? We will use the best 6 trails in Hocking Hills to help answer these questions. Let's get started. Does Hocking Hills have a waterfall? Hocking Hills has many waterfalls. In fact, every trail on this list has a waterfall. Cedar Falls is the most reliable waterfall in Hocking Hills. So reliable, in fact, there was a grist mill located here in the 1800s. Funny to us is that the early settlers named the falls incorrectly. They called the falls after all of the cedar trees that surrounded the area. But what they thought were cedars are actually the hemlocks we can see today. Cedar Falls Trail is one of the easiest in Hocking Hills. When you drive down Ohio Highway 374, there is a small parking lot of about 7 spaces. Continue south and turn into the main parking area. After you pull in, you will see a larger parking lot. This is where the 1/2 mile hiking trail to Cedar Falls ends. Continue further to the smaller parking lot where you will find the bathrooms and the trailhead. Park where you can, but head to the bathrooms to start your hike. The trail descends from the parking lot into the gorge and you are immediately surrounded by forest. The trail comes to an intersection. Here, you will discover that the Ohio Buckeye Trail also travels through Hocking Hills. The Buckeye Trail is 1,400 miles and has a rich history beginning with a newspaper article in 1958. The trail goes around Ohio from Lake Erie to the Ohio River. But in Hocking Hills, in addition to Cedar Falls, you can hike the Buckeye near Ash Cave and Old Man's Cave. Taking the one-way trail to Cedar Falls will lead you to a bridge. Here, an amazing view of the gorge wall and Black Hand Sandstone is revealed as you hike over Queer Creek, which is flowing from Cedar Falls. While you are hiking along the water, keep on the lookout for wildlife, including turtles like this one. Cedar Falls is unveiled from behind trees, and we will share more of it here. The water cascades over the sandstone and falls about 50 feet to the pool below. This is the best hike for dogs in Hocking Hills. Old Man's Cave is the other hike we recommend. We'll put a link in our description with a video focused on how you should hike Hocking Hills with your canines. If you like hiking with your dogs, check that video out there or search for "Are Dogs Allowed in Hocking Hills?" on your TV or device and look for Camp Brood. On the way out of the gorge, pay attention to the steps. These steps are special and have a name. Democracy Steps for Cedar Falls 1997. These steps were designed to provide the best experience for hikers and will be the best trail steps you'll hike in the park. On to our next question, and later we'll share what gear you should take with you on your hike. Does Hocking Hills have caves? Rock House is the only real cave in Hocking Hills State Park. We'll start with the trail this time. From the trailhead, the hike is a 0.8 mile loop with 200 feet of elevation gain. The change in elevation is handled with about 200 stairs going both down into the gorge and then also on the way out after Rock House. The gorge trail ends at the larger parking lot with the picnic pavilion that used to be the location of the Rock House Hotel. The Rock House Hotel was built in the 1830s by Levi Friend. The hotel had 16 rooms, a ballroom, post office, and stable. Pictures of the Rock House Hotel show a large balcony as well as a full porch along one side and can be seen at the Trailhead Information Board. Prohibition may have caused the demise of the hotel and the eventual demolition of the building in the 1920s. Now let's discuss Rock House, and later we will show you the rim trail. Rock House is a 25 feet high and 200 feet long cave of Black Hand Sandstone. The Rock House has also been called Robber's Roost, as it has been a hideout for robbers, thieves, and murderers. The cave provides lookouts through windows and is suspended above the gorge and below the rim on the cliff wall. Rock House is generally hidden from above. The rock has been carved by erosion via water running through it over centuries. Water continues to run when there is rain. If you have a fear of birds, beware. They look like pigeons to us. Don't feed them, but they are friendly and generally keep their distance. As you explore the cave, look for the features Native Americans, the original residents of the cave, left for us to discover. Shaped in the cave walls are ovens used for baking food. In the floor, handmade cavities were built so that when rains came, the cavities filled, providing residents with a store of fresh water. But also notice all of the inscriptions carved in the sandstone. Most of these are from guests of the Rock House Hotel. As you move to the end of Rock House, you will notice a man-made wall of stone. We hiked when Rock House Trail was almost empty. As with Cedar Falls, the trails at Rock House are one way. However, we chose to hike the rim trail back to the gorge trail and return up the gorge trail back to the trailhead parking lot. If the trails are too busy, you can hike from parking lot to parking lot using the road. Plan on about 40 minutes to hike Rock House Trail. Next up, we'll discuss what many believe is the most difficult hike in Hocking Hills, and later we'll cover the most popular hike. How hard is it to hike Hocking Hills? Cantwell Cliffs is generally understood as the most difficult in Hocking Hills. If you can get through this hike, you can hike all of these trails in Hocking Hills. The rest of the hikes on this list, except the Conkle's Hollow Rim Trail, only require people to be able to walk about 1 mile and ascend and descend stairs. Cantwell Cliffs is more difficult. You will notice the awkward steps as soon as you descend down Fat Woman Squeeze, and the difficulty continues throughout the hike. You will need to hike at least an hour to finish this trail and plan on 90 minutes. Some of the steps on the trail were loose, and the wood used to support other steps were misplaced over time in awkward positions. Significant general maintenance of this trail is required for casual hikers to feel comfortable in Cantwell Cliffs. The trail was improved during the 1930s by the Civilian Conservation Corps. The CCC was created by the United States and President Roosevelt during the Depression in 1933. The program was used to improve public lands countrywide. Hundreds of men worked the area and constructed trails, bridges, buildings, parking, and planted trees throughout the park. Company 526 worked on Cantwell Cliffs, and the stone steps and shelters are two of the most noticeable CCC contributions. Cantwell Cliffs are hiding Buck Run Creek deep in the gorge. The gorge walls are over 150 feet tall. The water flowing through has caused erosion and created the deep gorge over thousands of years. Through the forest, boulders called slump blocks are randomly scattered throughout the gorge as they have landed from their previous attachment to the gorge walls. The Blackhand Sandstone Cliffs provide additional features to help you know this trail is special and may be the underrated hike in Hocking Hills. As Cantwell Cliffs is the most difficult hike in Hocking Hills, now is a great time to discuss what gear you should take with you. Make sure you hike with good shoes. I hike with the Merrell Moab 2 hiking shoes. Traction is important and these shoes provide solid footing. Your brood should wear similar shoes if you can. Trekking poles would be helpful if you need the extra support like we used. We hiked a few hikes in Hocking Hills each day, so we carried a hiking day pack with a first aid kit and snacks. Don't forget a treat to motivate you on the trail like fruit chews or gummy worms. We really think comfort is vital, and the Teton Sports Hydration Day Pack is a great fit for hiking the trails. With the rocks and roots and steps, a first aid kit is a good idea for scrapes and cuts from a trip or stumble, even on the shortest trail. It's so important we carry 2 with our group. The trails are marked, and there are maps at waypoints, but it is always best to take maps with you to keep track of your progress. Carry a compass, too. A compass will help you understand your direction, but it's also a great educational tool and helps when kids are bored on the trail. The rim trails have a level of risk we'll discuss later, but packing a rope can help you rescue someone who has slid off the rim and needs a lift. Rope can be a lifesaver. Pack a flashlight for Rock House and also if you end up hiking after dark. Stay hydrated and take water with you. We'll put links in our description for the gear we recommend. Cantwell Cliffs is a great hike. The trail is technical and safe to hike, and anyone who can navigate uneven steps and walk 1.5 miles will enjoy Cantwell Cliffs. Let's take a break from hiking and discuss a great place to stay while visiting Hocking Hills. If you are looking for a great campground and full hookup RV resort close to Hocking Hills, check out our video on Campbell Cove in Logan, Ohio on Lake Logan. Again, we will put a link in our description or search for Campbell Cove Campground and look for Camp Brood on your device. The park has a lot of activities for kids, including a playground, bounce pad, swimming pond, and fishing. But the park is dog-friendly too, and has great sites for all camping setups from tents to cottages to big rigs. The bathhouses are clean and private with separate rooms that include a toilet, sink, and shower. Also located on site is an arcade and campground store. Now, back to the hikes. Can you guess the most popular trail in Hocking Hills? And coming up later, we'll discuss the largest recessed cave east of the Mississippi. What is the most popular cave in Hocking Hills? Old Man's Cave is the most popular for a reason. From the beginning, the trail amazes hikers, and it only gets better after that. Upper Falls is the first waypoint, which reveals a wonderful surprise. The bridge we just went over is actually above the upper falls, which is about 20 feet tall, and this is one of the most photographed spots in Hocking Hills. The bridge above the falls and the pool below, surrounded by blackhand sandstone, make it a unique feature of Hocking Hills. But that's just the beginning. As we continue, notice the hike is through walls of blackhand sandstone, flanking the trail and Old Man's Creek. But there's more. As we travel along the creek, Devil's Bathtub comes into view. It's a cool water feature made better by its memorable name. Part of the treasure of Old Man's Cave Trail is walking through steps and trail features constructed by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s like these. But other improvements have been made like this cool new step bridge to resemble skipping stones. And then this tunnel takes you back to the past, leading you to a bridge and finally Old Man's Cave. But you're not finished yet. There is a view of the Sphinx facing profile on the trail, and a little walk further through the forest down more stairs is Lower Falls, which cascades 25 feet into the pool below. Why is it called Old Man's Cave? Old Man's Cave got its name because an old man lived here. Richard Rowe, a hermit, lived in the recessed cave during the early 1800s. A marker in the recessed cave provides additional details that he discovered the area with his 2 hound dogs while he was hunting. The recessed cave is part of a 75-foot wall of blackhand sandstone above Old Man's Creek. The recess is about 250 feet long and 50 feet high. Down at the creek level, there is a waterfall as the creek takes a step lower below the cave. The creek then flows beyond a man-made stone wall. Old Man's Cave is kind of a choose-your-own adventure. There is a quick route. This would be the short loop that is 1 mile. The hike will allow you to see the Upper Falls, Devil's Bathtub, and Old Man's Cave. The 1 mile loop will take you about 30 minutes to an hour. But if you would like to travel a little further like we did, add another half mile to see the Sphinx and Lower Falls before returning to the parking lot. Adding this distance would provide for a full hike time of an hour to 90 minutes. If the trail is busy, it may take longer. With all of these waterfalls and pools, you might be wondering, can you get in the water at Hocking Hills? People have an attraction to water. Lower and Upper Falls have pools beneath them, but the water is off limits everywhere in Hocking Hills, and entry into the water is prohibited by the Ohio Park Service and DNR. There is a safety reason for this rule. 1, you may slip on a rock or other hazard and cause injury. 2, the waterfall can carry debris over the ledge, and as the water can fall on you, so can logs and other debris from above. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources built the Visitor Center at Old Man's Cave in 2019. It is located on the southwest side of the parking lot. This is the central hub of Hocking Hills State Park. Here you will find modern bathrooms, a gift shop, information center, and interpretive center, and how to stay safe hiking in the region. Now let's go down the road a little bit and answer the question, what is the easiest hiking in Hocking Hills? Ash Cave is a half-mile loop trail that takes about 30 to 40 minutes to complete. The time to complete any of these hikes depends on your ability, how busy the trails are, and how much time you want to spend exploring each location. Ash Cave Trail is paved at the beginning. There are benches along the trail to relax and enjoy the scenery. While you explore, look for the ferns and wildflowers that cover the forest floor. In Hocking Hills, you can see trillium, wild geranium, and bloodroot. Mosses and lichens also carpet the stone and forest. Ash Cave was formed through erosion. The softer material that was under the current Ash Cave was washed away by years of water flowing through the region. The creek continues the erosion process today. The other gorges were created this way too. When heavy rains cover the region, the water flows significantly and represents more clearly how the water can erode sandstone over time. You can actually see the creek flow next to the trail too. Ash Cave got its name in a very simple way. In the 1800s, settlers came to the land and discovered the cave. When they walked in, they noticed a length of ashes long and wide, almost 100 feet long and 30 feet wide and 3 feet deep inside the cave. They named the area Ash Cave due to this feature. According to the park, the cave was used by Native Americans. An excavation and study of the ashes discovered various materials for fire, animal bones, arrows, pottery, and other items. Ash Cave appears as you are hiking the trail. Perspective is provided when you see people under the rock. Only when you get under the rock can you notice that the cave extends around the corner behind trees, and ferns and boulders blocking your view. Speaking of trees, you will be amazed at the forest of hemlock, beech trees, and other trail hardwoods. How big is Ash Cave? The expanse of the shelter is larger than life. The U-shaped cave is 700 feet wide from end to end and 90 feet tall. From the front lip of the overhang to the back of the cave is about 100 feet. If you slow down, you'll notice boulders on the ground. If you think a little more, those came from somewhere, probably from above. Now people every day trust that while they're hiking under Ash Cave, a boulder won't fall on them. Just something to think about as you explore the cave. A nature preserve is next, and later we'll let you know where to find toilets in Hocking Hills. Where can I see the most beautiful trail in Hocking Hills? Conkle's Hollow Nature Preserve is in the Hocking Hills region. The preserve is in existence to protect the wildlife, plants, and other nature stuff. The Gorge Trail and Rim Trail are there to share the preservation efforts with the public. Where the state parks are more geared towards human recreation. The preserve is open year-round and is open to the public a half hour before sunrise and closed a half hour after sunset. And we found the state park is the same. The hollow is named for W.J. Conkle, who scribed his name and the year 1797 into the sandstone within the gorge. Made of blackhand sandstone, the gorge in some places is only 100 feet wide, and the walls can rise as much as 200 feet above the gorge floor. Blackhand sandstone is only visible in Ohio, and the material that forms the sandstone likely came from the Appalachian Mountains to the east. Here in the gorge, you can see the rock elevations up close and at a distance. Along with the rock, you will see a variety of plants and trees. As you walk, you will be amazed at the ferns and flowers and moss below, while also admiring the birch, hemlock, and other trees towering above. These views are just the beginning. Just wait until you see what is at the end of the Gorge Trail. As we mentioned before, the preserve has 2 hikes. The Gorge Trail is the easier and shorter of the 2. If you only have time for one, we recommend this hike. The Gorge Trail takes a half hour to complete. 90% of the 1.5-mile round trip trail is paved and wheelchair and stroller accessible. At the end of the accessible trail is an unimproved hike that takes you to the waterfall that eroded the gorge and a beautiful horseshoe hollow, with the waterfall and pool as its centerpiece. The waterfall in Conkle's Hollow falls at a height of 25 feet. Although not viewable from the paved trail, this part of the hike is the most amazing and surprising. The Rim Trail is a 2.1-mile loop that has almost 400 feet of elevation gain. Most of the elevation is at the beginning and end of the trail. Here at the trailhead, there are steps to ascend to the rim. The stairs are the first measure of difficulty to the Rim Trail. At the top, the hike generally levels out, but the focus changes to a trail surface of roots and uneven rocks. Wet or icy conditions will make the trail more difficult, but now you are on the rim edge and standing upwards of 200 feet from the gorge floor. The edge of the rim is unlevel ground. In many places, the trail width on the rim is only 3 to 4 feet, so in order to stay on the trail, you need to walk between trees and the rim edge. So why are we spending so much time talking about the risk of the Rim Trail? Every year, 1 to 2 people die hiking in Hocking Hills area. Recently, a hiker, 45 years old, fell 60 feet to his death on the Conkle's Hollow Rim Trail. So recognize each trail has its risks and hike safely. The Rim Trail adds to the Gorge Trail by giving you a view of the preserve from above. There are many overlooks where you can see down into the gorge and across the gorge and further. These really give you a different perspective. We were surprised to notice that you really can't see down into the gorge very far. Looking across the gorge, you can see the Rim Trail on the other side in some places. These views help you witness how tall the forest is and the overall height of the preserve. We know Hocking Hills can be busy. Our only congested trail was Ash Cave, and it wasn't too bad. With Columbus, Akron, and Cincinnati close by, it's best to hike Hocking Hills on a weekday and either in the morning or evening. We hiked Monday and Tuesday morning, and as you can see, we had Old Man's Cave to ourselves. Every hike trailhead has toilets. The Visitor Center and Cedar Falls have the best facilities, where Cantwell Cliffs has pit toilets. Ash Cave is getting improved facilities too. We recommend 2 days to hike Hocking Hills, but if planned correctly, you might get through all of these hikes in one day. On day 1, we would hike Old Man's Cave, Ash Cave, and Cedar Falls. These are the most popular and the can't-miss hikes in Hocking Hills. On day 2, hike Rock House, Cantwell Cliffs, and Conkle's Hollow. To make the first day a little longer, hike from Lower Falls to Whispering Cave and then back to the Old Man's Cave parking lot. For full trail guides on all these hikes, watch this next.